guys, I am Coach Sam, and I am one of the coaches that's helping run this group. I am just going to make you guys a quick video. Oh my goodness, my phone is not staying. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to make a quick video for you guys on my typical week of meal prepping. Every week for me is kind of different depending on, oh my gosh, my cat, get down. Sorry. Depending on my meal plan for the week. So this week, my dinners are pretty easy, and so there's not a ton of meal prep involved with that. Tonight I have tuna melts for the family, and then I'll put mine with salad. Tomorrow is chili. The next day is baked chicken fajitas, and then we have leftovers, and then I have a scheduled day for dinner for eating out, and then the next day is tortilla pizzas. And so really the only thing that I can meal prep for dinners is my chicken fajitas, and I'll just I can just cut up like my onions and peppers. But that's where I always start, is my dinners, because that's always my big meal that I'm cooking, and it includes more than just me. It's my family also. But my whole day kind of revolves around what I have planned for dinners. And so some days I have dinners with no carb in it at all. Like last week we had zucchini boats, and it was just zucchini with like meat and stuff in it. So then that affects like my yellows for the day. I can have 2 yellows during the day and none at dinner. So my day always starts with my dinner, and then I build off of that. And so that's where I start with my meal prepping, which I don't have my peppers out. Let me get those. So, like I said, because I base my whole day around my dinners, my whole week and my whole day around these, that's where I'm gonna start. And for me, like, the more I can prep now makes it so much easier when it is actually dinner time, because I always have, I have 3 kids, and so, I mean, the more I can get done ahead of time, the better. So all I'm gonna do is just do everything I can ahead of time. So my peppers, my onions, obviously I'm not gonna cook my chicken or anything like that, because I mean, I want that to be fresh whenever I'm making the dinner. But I am gonna go ahead and I can cut all these up, super simple, super quick. And then what I'm gonna do when I'm all done is just stick them into a baggie. I'll just stick all of this into a baggie, so that way whenever it's time for me to actually cook this, all I have to do is just add it to my chicken, and this whole part is like completely finished. Okay, so if the case were that I was having like stir fry or something with sweet potatoes, anything like that, I wish I had a better meal plan this week so I could show you guys some different things that I could meal prep. But anything with like rice or potatoes are great to prep ahead of time, like dicing them up, whatever you need to do. All vegetables, any vegetables that I can do for dinners. So like I said, like the chili, everything's coming either out of a can or it's like I'm just grounding up the meat, you know, so there's not much I can meal prep for that. But so, where was I going with that? Oh, I wish I had some other stuff that I could cook for you guys today. But I mean, if you guys have a meal plan that you're working on right now that has those other things, like, feel free to share your meal plan into the group, and we are more than happy to like evaluate it with you and see what you can go ahead and like get done today. But for me, my meal plan this week is pretty easy. I'm kind of getting it down to where I don't have to do too much cooking at night. I'm really not a fan of it. So yeah, this is the extent of that. So once I'm all done with this, you can see I'm like already almost done. Can you see that? I'm not even sure if you can see that in my video, but I'm almost done like chopping up my peppers, and then I'm just going to just stick them in a baggie and be done. I will do an onion later. I don't want to do it on the video because I always cry like a big old baby. And I always have tears coming down my face like a maniac. So I'm not going to do that today. Okay, so once I get this in, I know my dinners are ready. Like, this is the most I can do. So done. Prepped. Like I said, this is a very simple week. My weeks are usually not always this easy. So, dinner's done. Now, my next thing that I always go to, and I think this is probably, like, yes, I focus on dinners majorly because it's so time consuming for me, cooking for a family of 5. But I think the most important ones to plan for meal prepping is your snacks. For me, I always have one snack is a vegetable and one of my snacks ends up being a fruit. I don't know if that's just like everyone does that or it's just how my meals always go, is I always end up doing one fruit and one vegetable. So if I don't do that chopping, so like a lot of times I have a bell pepper for a snack. And if I don't have this, like if I just go in the fridge and that's all there is and I'm starving at snack time, heck yeah, I'm gonna grab some Cheez-Its or some whatever that I see in the fridge, okay? So this is the meal that is so easy to grab something not healthy because it's the snacks that actually require some effort, okay? So eating healthy snacks does require more effort than just grabbing a bag of chips or whatever. So that's why it's so important to make sure that this base is covered, because if not, I mean, you're gonna be eating things that's not on your meal plan and not gonna be helping you. So again, I just start with, for me, I always start with my vegetable snack because it's the hardest one for me to get in during the week. I always have a hard time each day getting in my vegetable, and so if I have this part prepped all week long, the part that I'm the weakest at, then I literally have no excuse to, I don't have an excuse to not get my green containers in. So, my snacks, let me see, I'll usually do, so like this bell pepper, I can already tell you one bell pepper is one green. So like this will be my snack, actually probably for later today. And then I'll just go on to my carrots. This will be Wednesday, probably. And then I also have my cucumber. Usually half a cucumber is a green, depending on how big. So my carrots will be my Wednesday. Then, and then Thursday, and then Friday, since usually it's about half. So there's that, and then I also have some celery here, which I will usually just like chop up the entire bag. But as long as I have at least 5 baggies, like, so I don't have to chop up this whole bag if I don't want to, because really I'm only going to eat celery probably once this week. But the more I do now, again, the more we do now, the less we have to do over the weekend or when we're busy or just whatever. So I'm just going to do as much as I can right now and not have to think about it again. Dang, that was crazy. So yeah, once I get all my vegetables done, and I know I have all of my vegetable snacks covered, then I move on to my fruit. And usually this is the easiest one because most of the time you can just grab a whole piece of fruit, like an apple or half a banana or a peach or whatever, and you can just grab it and munch. Like, you don't have to cut it up. But for me, this week, one of my fruit snacks that I have on my meal plan is fruit parfait. So that consists of having chopped up strawberries and bananas, which I'm out of bananas, so I'm not going to chop that up for you today. But having these strawberries chopped up already, is gonna cover my, one of my fruits. I'll probably get like 2 or 3 of these out of this container. So it'll probably last me to the end of the week. And then I just plan for my other fruit to be something easy like an apple. Okay, so there's really not too much meal prep when it comes to fruit, but it is the second thing. The third, my windows are open, and so you can hear all of the cars outside. Sorry, guys. Anyway, this is the third thing I focus on whenever I'm meal prepping. So it goes dinners, vegetables, my fruit. And then after that, I'm not gonna make you guys watch me do all of this chopping, but you're kind of just seeing my reasoning behind things, and you can kind of apply it back onto your own meal plan, like my reasoning behind it, you know, like you can kind of see the method to my madness, the madness to my method. How does it go? Either way. So you can just apply this to yourself, you know, you don't have to be having the same exact meal plan, but you can kind of see why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, and then you can put it onto your own. But after I do my dinner, my vegetable, and my fruit, I then focus on my breakfast. And this is where everyone is totally different whenever it comes to breakfast. For me, I stay home, and so it really doesn't require too much of meal prepping for breakfast because my go-to is just fried eggs with toast. So like right there, there's nothing I can meal prep to make that easier for myself. But if I was working out of the house, or I had school, or my mornings were just super busy to where I just did not have time to make anything, I would, after I did the other 3 steps, that's whenever I would focus on my breakfast. And I know Sarah Bowe, she does the mason jar oatmeal, and so that is always something that I recommend to all of my clients whenever they're struggling with breakfast, because you can literally just make it the night before in your mason jar, and then you just I think you just warm it up and go and eat it. Like you can eat it on the go. It's the simplest thing. So it would just be like 1 yellow, add some fruit to it. You can even add some like seeds, like chia seeds and flax and just all kinds of like good stuff. You can add a teaspoon like with peanut butter. So there's just like all kinds of variations that you can put in these mason jars and take with you. There's also like egg cups that you can make in the oven, and you can make those in like a huge batch and freeze them. Same with like breakfast burritos or breakfast sandwiches. That's when like after I'm done with these, that's what I would do, is like I would then focus on batch making stuff for breakfast. You know, for me, I know in the past I've made like healthy pancakes and froze them, and then my kids can microwave that themselves and eat it in the morning, and I know that they're getting a good breakfast. Otherwise, they just eat cereal, if I'm being honest. So, yeah, that's kind of the method to my madness. I also, oh, one more thing. I forgot the protein. This is not something I usually ever meal prep, is my protein for lunches, because I always get the pre-made or the pre-packaged grilled chicken that you can get in like the lunch meat section. There's like grilled chicken packets there, and 1 packet equals 2 reds, and so I don't ever have to meal prep that. Or I just do leftovers from the night before. So lunch is usually not something that I focus on too much. This week though is a little bit different because I am having tuna salad for 2 of my lunches, and then the other 2 lunches I'm having tilapia. So what I'm gonna do after my fruit, because I'm not doing anything for my breakfast, is I'm gonna focus on these lunches. And so what I have here is my already opened up tuna. I'm just gonna go through and make this recipe that I have for this clean tuna salad. And then I'm gonna portion it out into 2 separate containers, because I did 2 cans and that would equal 2 reds. So that gets me through Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday I'm having tilapia or a leftover, and there's nothing I can do for those meals except cook them when they're ready. So yeah, after this is all said and done, I should have like lots of baggies of vegetables, all my fruit, so that my snacks are all covered. My dinners are prepped with the vegetables, my lunches are covered. But I just start with one and work my way back, and that's kind of how it goes. So I hope this was a little bit helpful for you guys. I know my method might be completely different to yours. I know a lot of people pre-make their dinners on Sunday for the whole week, and that's just not something that I ever do because I don't need to, because I'm at home. But I do know, like, if people are out and about, like, that method is probably the better way to do it, just so you're extra prepared, like, on the go at dinner time. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I will be in the group. Sarah will be there. We are excited to answer anything that you guys are questioning. Share your meal plans so we can help you decide what to prep. And I will talk to you guys later. Thanks, guys.